My heart would begin beating so hard that you could literally look at my chest and just see my heart beating from my chest. It was my secret. It was my big secret. And when I experienced those episodes, most of the time I would hide myself. I was the master of disguise.
Being good was never good enough for Trish Wilkinson. She wanted to be perfect.
Best mother, best wife, had the cleanest house, best Christian, best teacher, best friend, best performer.
So Trish made sure every move she made was flawless. No shortcuts, no rest, and certainly no mistakes.
I equated performance to value. I did not know how to handle if you disliked me or if you were dissatisfied with me. And if I was a failure, then you weren't going to love me.
As a wife and mother, Trish's life got more difficult as she tried to have the perfect marriage and perfect children. Eventually, it all caught up with her, and she began having panic attacks. The episodes would pass, but Trish didn't dare tell anyone about them. Instead, she pretended everything was normal, but the attacks grew worse.
I would be overwhelmed with extreme nausea, to the point to where I would begin to vomit. And then you have this overwhelming sense of extreme fear. It would be an array of things. Well, I'm afraid of losing my mind. I'm afraid of dying. I'm afraid of losing control.
Finally, when the attacks grew too painful to bear, she went to the ER to see a doctor.
And he diagnosed me with severe clinical depression. Well, I refused to believe that diagnosis because I was a born-again Christian. And I thought, I am a Christian. I love God with all my heart. And not only do I love God with all my heart, I am working for Him. This diagnosis has got to be incorrect. So I ignored the fact that I was clinically depressed for 4 years.
She didn't understand why this was happening. After all, in her mind, she had done everything perfectly.
I was perplexed and I was angry, and I had a conversation with God in my heart, and in my mind I began to say, God, I don't understand why you would allow this to happen in my life.
For 4 years, Trish ignored the diagnosis, but the panic attacks interfered with every aspect of her life. Trish could no longer pretend everything was okay.
I just totally broke down, and it became reality for me, and I had to face it. I had to face my fear, and I had to face reality, and I needed daily medical attention.
Through her sessions with a Christian counselor, she realized God loves her unconditionally, even when she's not perfect.
He just began to mold me and make me, and just began to heal me from the depth of who I was in my soul, and help me to realize, Trish, I love you unconditionally. And my perspective of everything was fresh and new and healthy and vibrant, and I was empowered and I was motivated.
Today, Trish is at peace. She doesn't have panic attacks anymore, and she says she clearly understands God's love for her.
Now my relationship with Him, I work for Him, but I work for Him because I love Him. I don't work for Him because I feel like I have to merit His love or His grace or His blessing. You can be healed from clinical depression. You can live in victory, that every challenge the enemy brings your way, everything society brings your way, God is greater.